Hello folks, I'm just starting a new stream here. We should come up in just a second. Let the video on Twitch run its course. Once you pass the commercial, we should be here and going fine. So give me just a second and we will be rolling this afternoon. I should be here all afternoon long. Probably going to be sitting here for 6 hours, so get comfortable. We ready to roll? Are we streaming? Stream has resumed. So it looks like YouTube is working. Still waiting on Twitch. Almost there, folks. Topic is Trump, Rubio, and Cruz. So, I think we're going. I think it's working. Nice to see you folks here. Please chat. I'm having a hard time getting Twitch to work. Not quite up yet. Almost there. Give me a minute. Okay, we're getting started. If you're not here yet, you can catch up. So, here we go. This is my thumbnail sketch of what I'm going to draw today. So, it is kind of a, what should I say? It's a tongue tied into a knot cartoon. And so I'm going to have Trump, Cruz, and Rubio kind of forming a triangle with close-ups on their faces, and their big tongues are coming out, making a big slobbery knot tied up together, because it seems to have boiled down to these three guys just arguing with each other and tying everything up with their attacks on each other. So, three big heads forming a kind of a tilted triangle, cropped, and all the tongues tied together, and that's where we are. So, if you're just joining us, you know what's happening. And we'll get rolling. So, I'm going to start generally with my editorial cartoon box shape, which should always be about 1.5 wide by 1 tall. So draw the diagonal as that half, close enough. And so I want a kind of an offset triangle going on here. Offset triangle. Got a shadow. Need some more light. Is that better? Stronger shadow. How about that? Oh, that's very bright. Nah, I think that's too much. We'll live with the shadow. Alright, so offset triangle. Kinda like that. Rubio is the only one that's going to be right side up. So we're going to have Trump here. And Cruz here. Gotta get his male pattern baldness into the image. And Rubio over here, as in the sketch. Now, where will the tongues go? You can see I've not thought this through. So let's say Trump has his poochie ducky lips here. Cruz is coming out here. And Rubio over here. He has that his upper teeth are kind of interesting in the respect that they don't quite go as wide as his mouth. In fact, they go much less wide than his mouth. So his smiles and his teeth are much smaller than his smile, which I think is kind of interesting. Hello, Lily Bean. Nice to see you here. You're a regular. Okay, so where are the tongues gonna go? I have to make their mouths a little bit bigger than I think I naturally would. If I was not drawing them to have their mouths wide open with tongues flopping around. So he'll go, let's have him go, well, tongue has to come down out the back of the throat. So, say he goes up that way, and Cruz is going to go down that way, and Trump, who has the littlest mouth, such that it's a little bit hard to make a big tongue out of it, go up that way. That makes sense? So eyeball, 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 eyeball. Trump. Poochie lips. Might want to make him a little smaller. And you're going to need to move him down a bit to fit in more forehead. So, poochie lips. Nose. So what's going to happen this afternoon is I'm going to be futzing around with these caricatures for quite a long time. And that tongue can come down to the bottom side of the knot, huh? Maybe he wants to tilt a little bit more to get his tongue going straight out that way. I do a lot of futzing around with things to get them right. It takes a while. Excuse the reading glasses. They're dirty. And do please chat. I appreciate any chat. Okay, so if I have the knot generally here, then I'm going to need a piece of tongue to go up that way. And down that way. Because these are the spaces available for tongues to come out of the knot. And let's say over that way. Trump is going to need his hair to look like Trump, and he could use a little bit of his Make America Great Again cap. I think I might fit that in on top of his Trumpian hair. That way. Hi, Lily Bean. You have some questions? Are you a cartoonist, Lily Bean? Does that look like a composition? Do I have a composition here? I can show you what I'm looking at on the monitor. Oops. Remind me later of that. So here on the monitor I've got my Google images of Trump. Okay. So Cruz is going to come around this way. Bring up Cruz. I'll go back to drawing. Cruz's head is... Trump's head is getting shorted. Alright, let's think through the knot first, because arranging for where the knot goes is what's making the composition happen here. Tongue needs to move down on the way out of the mouth. Lily Bean writes, nope, not a cartoonist, but I like drawing and politics. LOL, and I get both watching you. You do! Drawing and politics. I think I might want to tilt Rubio back a little more because I've got a little space right there. And what's his mouth look like? Let me take another look at that. He's got the widest mouth of them all. So I can get away with something there. Lily Bean writes, besides hoping to pick up some techniques from watching you so I can get better. Very good. This is not going to be an easy one to draw. So he's got his tongue going in directly that way. Let's erase some of this previous extraneous matter. Okay, now how will this knot be constructed? Let's say there's a piece of tongue that goes around that way and that way and so that way that way. That tongue wants to come out over there then. And let's try that. Where the tongues go into this knot really determines what I'm going to have to do on the faces. And you want to draw the the toughest part that determines the other parts first. So that's where I am with this. Then I have to, once I make it up, I have to look at it and take a step back and think, does this really look like a knot of tongues? Because knots are really kind of complex structures, and sometimes you make them up and they just don't look right. So, for example, this little thing coming around in a loop, I'm not sure that makes much knot sense. Let's say this one comes out over that one down this direction. Is that better? Now, anyone that comes on top of another one needs to make the ones below it distort a little bit, because tongues are squishy, you know? Get the knot looking right is the first puzzle with this thing. No Flint, Michigan water today. Maybe I've had too much of that. It starts to make Donald Trump look better. Theo writes, does that qualify as political hentai? Oh, Theo. This has to be juicy, you know. Gonna have a lot of crosshatch in this one. So my knot is looking okay on the top and not looking right on the bottom. Have to thicken this one up. This one is going to be kind of dominant if it's on top of all the other ones, so it needs to look the most right. That one should probably pop in front of it. Lily Bean writes, do you think tongue knotting like that is sexy? Ugh. Well, among these three guys, I can say that it is not at all sexy. Okay, let's say that one wraps around this tongue. That's starting to make a little more sense. So this one will wrap around that way. Yes, I think the purpose of this cartoon is that you look at it and say, ugh, because, all this junk that they're yelling at each other is stuff that you listen to and say ugh. So basically that is the point of the cartoon. And if you didn't look at it and say ugh, then I'm not getting my point across. Alright, I think I've got a second one right next to that one to try to get this knot looking right. And that might be this one coming down. Is that looking right? Lily Bean writes, "Ha! Only say that because isn't hentai supposed to be a form of overly sexualized cartoons?" Is that what you're seeing in this, Theo? Theo is PSI Matrix, my tech guru. Do you think this is overly sexualized? I wanted it to be kind of nasty. Alright, this tongue comes out this way. I don't think this is overly sexualized. It's just metaphor on the idea that they're tongue-tied. Tongue-tied is a standard expression. Don't read too much into it. There isn't that much there. People like to read too much into editorial cartoons. They think I'm doing all kinds of sophisticated junk when mostly I'm just drawing, oh, these guys are tongue-tied. It's nothing. I can get a little twist on this one. Let's do that. Lily Bean writes, "Definitely nasty, not sexual." Theo writes, "First thing I thought of was Japanese tentacle erotica, which is a common metaphor in Japan." Tentacle erotica. Oh, that's disturbing. I guess this cartoon is pretty disturbing. Alright, so let's say that one goes like that. Let's get rid of this. I want it to be a believable knot. Judas Master writes, "Hi, you can draw one monster of Summoner's Wars?" I hope that is not a friendly way of saying you have a summons for me. I'll see that you're knocking at the door in a minute. I think the candidates are disturbing. I wanted this to be a little disturbing. It should be disturbing and funny. Not looking like a real knot? I think I'm kind of getting a real knot. I also have to keep in mind that this is up. And so the light source comes down from up. Also, the tongues need to taper a little bit after they come out of the mouths. So, thinking of the light source up here, I need to get some shadow going on these. Boy, you guys all know about hentai. I guess I don't get out much. The knot is the focal point. It's what it makes it all look like. I mean, that's what it makes everything else want to position off of. So I need to make sure that I'm getting the point of the cartoon right before I start on the faces. This is going to be a long, complex one to draw. Okay, do I have this bit of tongue that ties around crosswise is at least not like of what I've got going on here. They are tongues, yes, just tongues. Okay, let's think about the other guys. So I'll start with Rubio here. One thing that's nice about Rubio is he's got a good head of hair, but he's got some male pattern baldness that wants to curve the top of his forehead back. So you have to get that top of the head in order to get it looking like Rubio. And then he's got a little bit of cheekiness going on. So let's get the top of the head hair here. How's that going to resolve over there? It's kind of a skull cap hair, isn't it? He's got a kind of a button nose, doesn't he? Oh, just again, so that you know. This is what I'm looking at with Rubio. And, you know, this is how I do all the caricatures. This is how everybody does caricatures now, because it's so easy to get a face full of faces in Google Images. So that is what I do. Okay. Rubio. Well, Judas, I tell you, if I had to choose between these guys, I would choose Donald Trump. Not that I like any of them, but lesser of three evils. I kind of agree with Jimmy Carter. He does have more forehead going on, you're right. Thank you, Lily. Hello, clueless male. Nice to see you jump in. Vote between Hillary and Trump? You know, I vote for whoever is least likely to get us in a war, and I think Hillary is kind of a warmonger. She worries me. So between Hillary and Trump, I would vote for Trump. Between Bernie Sanders and Trump, I would vote for Bernie Sanders. But any of the other Republicans versus Hillary, I would vote for Hillary. Just so you know where I am here. Judas votes for Marco, huh? All right. Marco is a nice looking guy, and anybody who is kind of nice looking is difficult to caricature. Kind of a little button nose thing going on, huh? Lily Bean, yes, Clinton's history. Although history of a candidate is a wonderful thing for an editorial cartoonist. I would have voted for Ron Paul Clueless. I think he was a good bet for not wanting to jump into a war. It's kind of scary what warmongers most of these candidates are. They just, somebody has a war somewhere in the world. It's an invitation to America to come join the party. And they are so eager to join and hasten the return of Jesus Christ and the apocalypse. That's what scares me. I vote for the one that's got the least religious nuttiness. The least religious nutty gets my vote. So, the cartoonists have just been doing crazy, angry Donald Trump cartoons. They've been jumping on him like he's the only candidate in this to criticize, and I have not. I've been, I draw him with his tongue tied here, but I don't think I've been particularly bad to him. So what's tough is looking at these Google images and trying to get something at the angle that you want. Because they all smile face on. And I don't have much use for smiling face on. Lily, you're tired of seeing our soldiers pay the price. Did I see Palin's endorsement speech? I saw it on Saturday Night Live. How is he going to open his mouth for his tongue this way? Need to see what he looks like when he opens his mouth like this. Also, what's kind of interesting about his teeth is that they curve around more than they should. It's the diameter of the curve of his teeth is smaller than you would expect. So I'm going to need to figure out what his mouth would do. And he definitely shows his top teeth more than his bottom teeth. So let's put a little distance on this tongue, see if I can figure his mouth out. Oh, Lily. Sarah Palin is fun. She makes me laugh. Marco. He has some good distance between his eyebrows, doesn't he? They should all be a little bit angry. Oh, the horror, Lily. Is your name Lily? Or is that the name of the bean? Marco looks like he wears a little mascara. Clueless male writes, Trump may not be the good, but at least he is getting more people talking about politics. I sometimes wonder when I vote, where is everyone? Well, the other way to look at it is that people get more interested in talking politics and voting when things are bad, and if things are good and people don't care much, that's kind of a measure of how good things are. Okay, that kind of looks like Marco. Marco doesn't really have pillars. He's got a big snuff box. Snuff box is this indented area right under your nose. And it's important in caricatures. He's gonna need... Oh, this is upper lip pooch out. Does it drop in the middle? It does not. Is that what his mouth would do? They're going to need some crosshatchy stuff going on. Oh, I've got a lot more room up here, don't I? This one needs to change. I suppose there are some artists who just envision everything at the beginning and just draw it the way it is in their heads. I always had trouble with advertising jobs because they give you a layout, and then as you're drawing, you come up with better ideas, but you're stuck with the layout. That's too big. And you gotta stick with the layout because it was approved by the committee. I had a lot of old advertising art in my history. Lots of getting the layout from the art director and drawing exactly what the layout is, which is a lot of what commercial art involves. Okay, Marco. Those teeth need to go like that. Okay, that's better. And they are 2 teeth shy of a mouth. My neighbor is building a house and running some kind of machine that makes a sound that you may be hearing on my microphone now. Sorry about that. Okay. I think he's got a big cement mixer going on. Rumba rumba. Cement mixer. Putty putty. Okay. Mike isn't picking it up. Oh, that's great. Let's see, he's got the ridge in your skull where your eyebrows go is called your superciliary ridge, which is important to caricatures. And you need to catch whether the nose is going to pop out for the eyebrows, which it does for Rubio, who has a significant superciliary ridge, but you don't notice it because he's got this round baby face. But keep that word in your vocabulary, superciliary ridge, just like I just learned hentai. Okay, there's Marco. I guess I've got Marco. Let's do Ted Cruz. Midnight Gags writes, I'll come here after 20-30 minutes. Fanatic match finished. Good luck. Well, thank you for the kind wishes, Midnight Gags. Okay, Trump. I think Marco's right. Okay, Trump. No, I mean Cruz. I'm doing Cruz. Cruz has these wonderful eyebrows on the sides that come up like this. And I'm missing that when I do this 3/4 view. Okay, let's say he's got an eyebrow there and an eyebrow back here. See, the picking this part of his head that's not eyebrow featured. And then he's got a wide thing going on. Turn your head to the other side, Ted. Oh, in case you want to know, this is what I'm looking at. Looking at Ted Cruz on the monitor in front of me. There he is, looking to the right, but that, well, I guess I'm going to need to rely on that one, huh? Alright, back to this. So he's got this, that going on. Gonna have to move his tongue in order to get his nose to be long enough. Sometimes characters really resist the position you want to draw them in. His nose is funny crooked from the front, but when he turns to the side, you lose the crookedness, which is frustrating. The nose is really quite big and goofy. I need to goofy it up. His upper lip is really short. He doesn't really like to display his upper teeth either. Boy, the neighbors using all their machines. The tongue has to exit the mouth in just the right way to look like a tongue. Then I have to twist it after it comes out. That one, maybe that one wants to go the other direction. His nose wants to be longer. Okay. Gotta give the nose what it wants. Actually, caricatures are not my strong suit. I just don't let them scare me. Sometimes I have to work much too long on them. But, oh well, gotta do what you gotta do. He's not right. This eye is too low. He needed that length to get his nose long enough. Nothing to say, folks? You quiet? Theo, you let the monkey guy know I'm drawing this afternoon? Is he too big? He really doesn't get a bottom lip coming out when he's got his mouth open like this. He has interesting inset lips. And even though he doesn't have a much upper lip, he's got a snuff box. He never displays his bottom teeth, does he? That's a little frustrating when you need some bottom teeth going on. I think he's not looking very good. You folks have gone silent. Yeah, Ted Cruz looking kind of lousy. I could give him only one eye, move his face back to there. I want to do that. I'm going to work on Donald Trump for a while. come back to Cruz. And the answer will be more forthcoming. Lily Bean writes, Cruz is pretty distinguishable by his nose. He has a great nose. Alright, Donald Trump. And again, so that you know, this is what I'm looking at when I'm looking at Donald Trump. His eyebrows want to go straight across. That's looking a little Trumpy. Oh, you've got a link showing bottom teeth, Lily? On Slate. I used to work for Slate. There he is. This is Lily's link. Yeah, his nose is wonderful. Looks like he wears the mascara too, doesn't it? Okay. Trump has big pillars down from the side of his nose, but not much of a snuff box. No snuff box to speak of. Also, for all this kissy lip, ducky lip stuff he does, his lips are pretty thin. Hello, Victoria7. Nice to see you back. What's happening with my Trump is that he's kind of squeezing up into Cruz. I might have to do some more thinking on Cruz. Donald has this shallow forehead. I think I'm going to erase this whole friggin' Cruz. Start over on Cruz. He's just overall looking bad. So fresh start for Cruz. Thanks for the kind words, Lily Bean. Come back soon. Keep in mind, this rough sketch is just a layout for what I'm going to do later on the finished art. It's just going to guide me with regard to having solved all the drawing problems for the finished one. And the finished one is going to be redrawn rather than traced. I redraw over what I've got. Okay, Trump's forehead, not something we see much because of his hair over it. So the hair is going to want to come down like that. Okay. I think Trump is looking okay. Trumpian. Boy, I've been drawing on this for an hour. I haven't even got a start on Ted Cruz. Okay, my space for Ted Cruz, I think, is getting moved more up into this area. Back to Cruz on my screen. Just so you remember what Cruz looks like, this is what I'm looking at. Cruz on my screen. Cruz wants more of a head-on view because of the way that he's got these eyes that droop off to the sides of his head. Okay. See you soon, Victoria 7. Come right back. Oh, a big sandwich followed me. Thank you, big sandwich. Do please pop into chat and have something to say here. Alright, I'm gonna need to go for the gusto on his nose. Let's say the nose goes like that. struggling with him. If you watch many of my live streams, you will see that it is not unusual for me to struggle with things. See if that's working. So all you silent folks, please come follow. Don't be afraid to chat. I'm going to be here a long time with this one, and it's going to be very crosshatchy. This one's going to have line art all over it. Vivi Corsi says, "Hi, Daryl. Nice to see a cartoonist at work." Thank you, Vivi. I do struggle with getting things right, and I spend a lot of time redrawing and erasing before I get this right. And so it takes a little bit of courage to do this, display all your shortcomings in front of people. But I figure, what the hell? So, Vivi Corsi, please follow. I appreciate all the follows. Oh, you did! Thank you for following, Vivi Corsi. I appreciate that. Maybe I only want one eye from him. Maybe that's more bold. Suppose I crop the top here. One-eyed Cruz. I can make this tongue repositioned to where it's got space to be. I think that was my issue. I needed to be cropping the top of Cruz's head. Let's think about that for a few minutes. That's kind of funnier, isn't it? Cropped closer. See if I can crop closer here. Does that make Trump better? Maybe it does. And I could crop off one of Rubio's eyes. Suppose I crop Rubio here. Oh, that's an improvement. How close can I crop down here? Oh, that was the solution I needed. That makes the whole thing much better. Struggling with not having the relationship between the eyes, the solution to that is just draw one eye. Don't have space to draw two eyes. Draw one eye. Learned that from playing cards. So I'm going to not have that. And Rubio's second eye is lost. Rubio goes with one eye. You guys are so silent. Okay, so we'll have a little bit of sploosh going on over here. I have some background crud. Maybe I'll have some of this kind of crosshatch going on in this corner. This one's kind of fun to draw once I get past the caricature issues that I struggle with. Hey, Victoria7, nice to see you back. Does Rubio doesn't have any pillars, does he? Rubio kind of pillarless. pillarless. He does have some curvature going on that upper lip, though. Where's the edge of Cruz? Cruz's edge is going to be there. Okay, I think I've got it. Alright, I've been doing this for an hour and 17 minutes, and I am just about to switch to doing the finished art on vellum overlay. Am I happy with this? From Cruz, Rubio, tongue-tied. I think it works. Okay, folks, I'm going to take a 5-minute break and come back. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that. It looks like a straw, meaning it sucks. You're so crap at drawing. Oh, King, you're grouchy today. Alright, I'm going to be back in 5 minutes. Sharpen a couple pencils, refill my my drinking water, and then I'm going to draw the finish on this. Finish will probably take another hour. And then I'm going to color it. And the coloring is probably going to take another hour. So we should be good for about 2.5 more hours on this puppy. Alright, so off with the stream, and I will be back in... I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. And so I will see you folks again in 10 minutes, and we will do the finished line art in this thing. Thank you much, folks. Don't go away. Hang out. I'm back in 5 or 10 minutes. Thanks. Hello, 340 Strachel.